Alright, we're back.
We're back!
And let's weed out some incompetence.
Weeding out all of the incompetence. Oh, we forgot to turn the light on. Here we go. Now you can see our faces.
Okay.
Monokuma appears!
Hello! Hello! Hello!
Why is there two of you? She's multiplied.
Wrong.
Nope, not multiplication. It just looks that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast it only looks like I've multiplied.
No, there's two of you. Shut up.
Can you tell which one is the real Monokuma?
No.
Can we just get on the elevator already?
Boy, tough crowd.
You're not playing along. Along.
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Hey!
Then if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the plane. Please board the pain train or the elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Okay then, shall we?
Please!
Oh, hold on. I'm not mentally prepared yet.
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You're gonna pay for your sins. What?
What the heck?
I told you already. I didn't do it. For serious.
That reminds me. Did you ever find the other costume? Or the note?
We found the note. Well, no, but...
How unfortunate. Then it would seem we have our culprit. Hey, this isn't the place to talk about it. Leave your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right. Let's go down there first, then the story can really begin.
Oh, really? Where's Jill?
Yeah, good idea. Do it. And for the two lost of life. Okay, is she in Jill formation or Toko?
Formation.
She's
Jill.
in Jill. Let's
To
go.
the elevator.
Let's go. And time for the cutscene of going down the elevator.
Going down the elevator, we're gonna take out for a ride. There's gonna be so few of us left.
Considering we're halfway done being killed.
Yeah, well.
I think it was 16 of us when we started.
We're gonna find out once we finish the trial.
No, there was 16 of us when we started.
Yeah.
He do redecorated.
Uh-huh. Well, I see all of you gathered together like this.
Does his decorating just give a hint of who it is?
Kind of. I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
Only because of you.
Oh, why are you making us do such cool things to each other?
What? You really hate me so much, but I'm so cute.
Yeah, shut up.
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial.
Don't rush me. Of course I'm gonna start it. Would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break. I never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats.
They're not really seats, more of a...
Standing place.
Yeah.
The good news is we barely have to speak at all during this. Because they say all of the things.
Pre-trial prep. There's a pre-trial prep?
Yeah, remember, this is where you get to choose your thingy-ma-what's-its and re-go over your bullets to make sure you remember them all.
Okay.
So you can re-go over your truth bullets to remember what all of them were. You get to
Okay,
re-go
I know
over-
what we're doing here.
You don't need your presence. Set your skills.
I believe I just have to get...
All of them. You can just set all of them. Algorithm's already set. Melodious voice is already set. Neutral liberation. The focus gauge decreases more slowly during concentration and fever time. That will help you in your fever time happens during the thingy-ma-what's-it.
No, that is bullet time battle.
Yeah, but fever time I thought was during the beat game. During the beat game.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, I need more of these.
Yeah, you gotta befriend more people. You gotta become friends with more people. And they give you more of
with
them.
a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the result. If you can figure out
We know this.
punish everyone
Okay.
now.
We already know who did it.
Was that?
It
Was
Hero.
not.
He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit.
Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't. Someone knocked me out. I was asleep the whole time. I don't know anything about it.
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Okay, so 3 of us will be on the same page, everybody else will not.
Yes.
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hero, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling.
You're really good at planting evidence, Celeste.
Yeah.
I give you that.
But they could have also literally just used his handbook after knocking him out to open his room. Or just, no, it would have been his keys. All they would have had to do was steal his keys.
The doors aren't locked until nighttime.
Bedroom doors can't be.
It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Time to prove our point and get rid of that Celeste.
Doubt. Get rid of the doubt.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I think it might be the blueprints because of
I don't know
the
anything about that
text,
stuff.
the font being so
It's
far
not
off.
true. It's a conspiracy.
Hero, why? Why did you kill them?
No. Just hold on a second.
The blueprints? Okay.
I think it has to be the blueprints because that way you can compare the handwriting.
Okay, see, and then I tell you.
Yes.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts.
Oh, you barely got that one in.
I have like 11. I have 11 minutes.
Yeah, but it's still better to not waste a bunch of time, especially since they're probably going to add more things.
Blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hero wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Yeah.
Coco.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
Yeah.
No.
But why?
Differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on. I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So, Makoto,
That's fair.
are you saying you don't think Hero's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hero's innocent.
Thank you, Byakuya!
Thank you, Prince.
Thank you.
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit?
No
Is
one.
it like Hero said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
No, he was in the suit.
The suspicious
Technically, yes.
individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead,
Especially since
Tell them who
literally
it was.
nobody else saw them.
So,
It's Hero.
I got it! Other than Hero, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there
But
can
Celeste
be no doubt.
is the only
Hero
one
is
that
the
ever
prime
saw the suit.
suspect.
Why are you interrupting your prince? Tell him you're sorry.
Sorry.
There we go. Now pay attention to the trial.
that doesn't make
I'm
any
too busy
sense.
being angry
you
at
just
Celeste.
said Hero didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hero was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What?
Also, I was agreeing with him, which I feel like is better.
Now that's a bold assumption.
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
It can't bend.
Of course.
Literally can't bend.
But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around!
All things have a proper order.
Uh-huh.
So, what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body.
It has no handle. You have to bend down to push the cart.
Yes.
It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
Byakuya is just like, you're good at this. The dolly and the tarp, I think, would be the two things.
I got it!
You need the tarp too.
Yep.
Tarp.
I got it!
Yep.
They were a dolly and a tarp, right? So, let's see if I can explain.
That's fair.
Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body.
Good.
We're doing. You decided to up the volume.
I figure it's the trial, so and everything's gonna be talked out by the
By them, which means we're not doing the speaky thing.
yeah. So
That makes sense.
That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing.
And the dolly.
I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right?
We're on to
But
you.
are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body?
Yes.
That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply
The
didn't
bloodstained
realize it?
wheel.
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in
bloodstained
doing that.
wheel!
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Sass. All of the sass.
Oh yeah.
Reloading.
Okay. Okay. Oh.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch.
Don't forget to reload.
I cannot agree.
Damn.
You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong.
Oh,
I
it's cool.
cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. agree.
This should prove it.
I actually did bullet time.
On the first try. Yay! You did lose most of your health.
If you're
So
asking for proof that the dolly
so-
moved, I have it right here.
so when she decreased me, I pressed the space
That makes sense.
to automatically hit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So when she down templed me, I up templed her.
Yes.
When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the
Finally
wheels
got
had a
it
blood
first
stain on it.
Yay! Barely though.
It
You were
was a
almost
pool
out of
blood in
lives,
the
but you did do
equipment
the
room
thing.
with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly
What's
wheel's
good
tread.
news is I don't need it until the actual
The
cover.
killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of
And
the
you'll
room.
get more back as you do more things.
And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
So shut up, witch.
Well,
Yes.
anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main
Oh,
subject.
Biakria.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't
Can't
do
bend
it.
at the waist.
Because
Exactly.
what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
You can't bend at the waist. The body was transported using a dolly that has
As
a
we
handle.
know, Taka
Yep.
was killed in the equipment room.
Yep.
And from there,
Yes.
the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Nope, it's the other one. It has to be a different one.
Shoot!
Okay. Oh jeez.
You forgot to let it play out.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment
Usually you
room.
let it play out once
And
first.
from there, the body was moved
got
to the
overly excited.
repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the
Also,
tarp,
this is a long one.
then loaded it onto the dolly and
It
wheeled
would
it
be
off,
weird
right?
if it were that
Now,
close to the
keep
beginning.
in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over. Then you could push the
There it
dolly
is.
no problem.
There it is.
Which one's
So
speed
the
up?
killer just crouched down and carted the body.
If you accept, then you must realize that who. Sorry, I don't
Okay.
think I realized.
There we go.
As we know, and from there,
Yeah, the culprit then loaded it onto the dolly and.
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
There we go.
Objection!
I just had to wait for it to say bend over.
Yes.
I couldn't interject. Well, didn't really bend over.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
I was hoping that would give us a
What do
turn
you
back,
mean?
but I'm retarded.
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
Flashback, flashback, flashback.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it,
Yeah.
yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
There would have been
When you
blood on
can't
the
even
feet.
see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Yes.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
Clasp.
Cannot. You can't take it off by yourself.
I got it!
Yay,
I
we
don't
gained
think
heart back.
taking off the suit was an option. If you remember,
I get hearts back if I'm right.
Yes, about the questions.
Yeah. Backstory, backstory, backstory.
Backflash, back.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
Yep.
Of course I wasn't making it up.
if he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it.
Yeah,
Showing up in the
obviously.
suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear,
Also, the
whoever
music in
did
this game
move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No,
Yeah.
wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides,
Well,
do you
there's
remember
nothing in.
what the
I'm just
now
noticing
deceased
there was
Hifumi
nothing in the
said?
fucking joints. In the elbow.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hero, without a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second.
It's still far too early to reach that
I
conclusion.
want to make this into a hair clip,
Besides,
but it would be
there's
racist.
no hurry to decide who did it. Before
But it
we
would be
rush to a
adorable.
verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
So do we have
Let's
to prove
review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning.
Asumi was
Maybe
lying,
we'll
right?
uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
Hifumi.
I don't disagree,
Yes.
but our lives are on the line.
Hifumi.
If this is what it takes,
We have to prove that
do it.
Hifumi is lying.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was
Why are
around
her eyes
8
glowing
a.m.
slightly?
And as soon as we split
She's
up,
very intense.
Kyoko went missing.
It feels a little off. But
Soon
okay.
after that, Hina found
Well,
Celeste
Taka's
in the rec
eyes
room.
were glowing.
and
Yes,
quickly
but
came to
hers
get
are just
Makoto and
faint.
me.
Hers looks like more natural of a
It
glow.
seems
than
I was
just-
unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by
Backstory,
Byakuya and Toko,
backstory.
and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office,
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
and then, at that point we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement.
Yeah,
I
but
left
it was
Celeste
Taka's.
and Hina there and headed
Yes.
back to
Body
the third
announcement.
floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time.
Well, I'm glad you said that.
Because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the three of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Fumi's body is disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so
That
we
was
hurried
your
back
fault.
again.
Yeah.
Again, this is your fault. You were the one that was strong enough that you could have carried her
But
with
when
us.
we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time,
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
And when the other body announcement
I think that
happened.
about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
What am I loaded with?
My Akuma file!
Okay. What's the lie?
So, regarding Taka's death, I
Also,
wonder if he
don't
died
forget, you
before
might have to
Hifumi,
memorize something
or
else. and
perhaps
use
it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
what makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So,
It does say a
regarding Taka's
similar
death, I
thing
wonder
in the
if
Mount
he
Akuma
died
file. They
before
were killed
Hifumi,
using a similar
or
thing.
perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that
I know
Hifumi was
why you
killed
shoot.
with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka
Or if you
came
have to
after.
memorize something else and then shoot that at something.
So,
I wonder if you have to
regarding
memorize
Taka's
what
death,
the phrase
I
what
wonder if he
order and
died
then you
before
have to use
Hifumi,
that
or
on
perhaps it was after.
the other thing.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
Did you forget how to
What
memorize?
makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3,
That's the
while
only thing I
Taka's
can
death
think is
came
that
from a
second
swing
la-
of
the
Justice
last
Hammer
one.
4.
See?
The one that's
So
on
it's
number.
obvious Taka came
number four.
after.
I don't know what the contradiction is.
So,
You can fast
regarding
forward, probably.
Taka's death, I wonder if he died before, or perhaps it was after.
We
Actually, both
already
of them?
know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
No, that's wrong.
Yay! I was corrected.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, But in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
Fair. The broken clock.
The broken watch.
The broken watch.
Watch. It should be W.
Wristwatch.
Funny and I. S. A. Where's the A? I was finding. C.
H.
Wristwatch.
Now I understand.
Eggman.
Don't worry, you get more of these in the second game where it's more fun games
Taka's
to play.
wristwatch.
I actually do like this
See?
game.
Yes.
Look, it broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
Background that we saw already.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
Yep.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
We need to prove that he was killed in the art room, right?
Yes. Probably, yeah. You know, by
When
the
we
fact
heard
that our
Hifumi
art room was
screaming,
locked.
we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
Hiro has the alibi he was
And
in
it
the
does
suit.
not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room.
Which was moved.
At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right
How to
then!
passed out.
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
I'm gonna blow the minds of
Besides, I
everybody.
didn't do
He
either of them
walked
anyway.
out.
Yes.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about
Of
how.
how.
In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
Awesome.
He
That's
walked.
true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
Yep.
His body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
It is still strange that this school
Oh
doesn't have
man,
elevators.
yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well,
I feel like that's
what
some
if
kind
I
of
told
violation.
you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
He walked.
What?
What?
How?
How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
The dead body moved on its own?
How do you know this?
No! Not another... Goat!
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
What do you have for me? The glasses or the
Glasses cloth.
spoken witch watch?
We might have to memorize something again.
Are you saying that when we first
Let's
found
just walk through the
Hifumi
whole
in the
thing
nurse's
first.
office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest
That
of
was
us.
Taco.
Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why
You
the
have to
announcement was made.
Get rid of the pink
Are
thing
we
first.
really so sure about
Okay.
that?
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance he would
No, Hifumi was dead.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Okay.
Are we really so
Left-
sure about that?
Left gets rid of it. Okay.
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone
Okay.
else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance
No, Hifumi was dead. And you know that. Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of Hifumi's dead body had been found.
There he is.
No, that's wrong. Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
But we already
Maybe.
established we found
But
Taco
that was
at the same
also
time.
the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if two bodies had been found, there really should have been two announcements.
It was. Later.
Yes.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
Me? Lazy?
What do you say, Monokuma? Any
Any
comment?
comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man.
It
We're
did.
asking if you're a lazy bum.
Because Hifumi
No,
didn't
actually,
die.
that was plenty.
till after.
Thank you, Prince.
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
When both bodies were rediscovered.
I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the two bodies.
Are you enjoying feeding me?
I'm feeding you Dweedles!
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Then in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
Yeah.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
The glasses cleaning cloth?
Glasses and clock.
Oh, I know!
Come on, come on.
Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing,
No.
bada boom!
No.
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Glasses cleaning cloth.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body.
Are you all boring? Get to the point.
Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
He-Man?
Bullet!
Okay.
Watch the whole
Well,
thing.
here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
Uh-huh.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
Yep.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned,
No, no. Come on. It's a nice statement, isn't it?
Probably.
Shoot!
Come on. Come to gun.
well,
You're
here's one.
supposed to watch
The
the
first
whole
time we
thing
found
first,
him
like I
dead,
said.
his body
And the next time, it was in.
But when you compare his body before, other than the change in how it was, there was no notable difference.
There we go.
No, that's wrong!
Such a tease, Lester.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi and
To
the
be fair,
nurse's
I don't
office
need
and
all
the
the hearts
repository.
because I already did the bullet battle.
His glasses.
Yeah, but you might need to
That fact alone proves that he was only playing
I know
dead
how
in the
everything
beginning.
happened. Although,
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
Glasses cloth.
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear.
it's his.
This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right?
Yep.
And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles.
Some demon angel pretty pudgy princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
Fair.
Of course not, Prince.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
What
He
I'm
walked
saying
around.
is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
Who else would have done
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
It must have been him, right?
Yeah.
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then,
I also
if he
have
was
a
just
focus.
pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
No.
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies.
That was the
Probably
thing I
used
was
one of
remembering
those.
from the nurse's office.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot!
Fair.
Yes.
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained.
And just stop.
He did it.
It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
Hifumi.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
Yeah.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
This is the note.
Yep.
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed.
It's the note.
The note.
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
The note. The note.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
You did what?
In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
It's the one Taka got.
In other
Obviously,
words,
it's the one Taka
the
got.
killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been...
Fumi's pens!
I got it!
I keep getting
That's
all
right.
these cards back.
Taka!
Yes.
The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello?
Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Ugh! Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
I do like my name, Big Mac.
Yeah. Well, Big Mac makes sense. Makoto, Big Mac.
Bullet time? Bullet, bullet, bullet. Okay.
This gives you might have to do the
Huffy had the note,
mesmerizing
right?
thing.
Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
Uh-huh.
But remember what the note said.
Make a plan of action.
What time did it say to meet?
Oh, it might be the watch.
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Because of the broken watch. So, it's the last one and it's the broken watch.
Huffy had the note, right?
Broken wristwatch.
Then the person it was intended for
Okay.
must have been
And it's the
Huffy!
last
But
one.
remember
What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
No, that's wrong.
That one was easy. Remarkably so.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
Uh-huh.
The note said to
What
meet
the
at
hell are you
6
talking about?
a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. You've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most
Ma'am.
likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
The scrap peeper. The scrap peeper! The Taka had! Go Taka's
I
scrap
got
peeper.
it!
Another heart gone.
When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is...
Why did
knew
you
it.
never...
It
Why did
fits
you not do that
perfectly with
before?
the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Sir.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
Yes.
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all... In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
No, he's dead.
Sorry,
No.
no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead.
Well, not quite,
The
but
second body
almost.
discovery announcement proves that.
Almost 100% completely
So
dead.
then, Who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He
Nah.
was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right?
The clean hammer!
So if Hifumi was killed in the repository,
suspiciously clean hammer.
the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
There's the sass.
High praise from...
Hell yeah, it's packed in there
There's
good
the
and
sass.
tight.
He's right, though. I don't
There's the
understand
sass.
it either.
The sass we expect.
The Monokuma file makes it clear that they
Gives
were
me
killed
Draco
using
vibes. I
similar
didn't know you
instrument,
could-
but if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the
Ma'am,
hammers?
it was an art room full of other
Personally,
hammers.
I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then...
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
Sir.
So then, what was used to kill
The
Hifumi?
suspiciously clean hammer! The suspiciously clean mallet! The suspiciously clean mallet!
Oh, it's hammer. Okay. Let's read these off.
Yes.
Let's not do what I usually do.
What was
Okay.
used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Moving on.
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check
That
out
one probably.
murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Murder
one
gear
thing
hammer
seems pretty
time.
clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice
That one
Hammers.
is probably that one.
And, that's about it.
Okay, so second to last.
I think it's the second to last one.
I have 4 hearts. We can do this.
Yes. The problem is there's like 3 possible options.
What was used to, was it just maybe Justice?
Well, there's one.
Go to
How was the
murder-
culprit? How did nobody...
Sounds like a Justice Hammer. Check out murdergear.com.
Murdergear.com/hammertime.
One thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the...
There you go.
No, that's wrong.
It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong.
I love the
The
no,
murder
it's
weapon
wrong.
wasn't
It's
a
just
justice
this game's
hammer at
version
all.
of objection.
No, it was something completely different.
This is a trial, by the way.
But,
Yes.
seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris, but for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
No?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit
Get
murder.
moida.
If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like
I'm
to
trying to
point
figure
out
out
that
where
the
they cleaned it,
repository has all
'cause there's not
kinds
a
of
sink in
hammers.
there.
I would
Big
assume.
ones, small
I'm
ones,
assuming there's a sink
and even
in
some
there.
flat
We just
mallet
can't
Somewhere
see
we
it.
just can't.
used to clean paintbrushes.
I think
Yeah,
whoever
I
made
mean
the
that would
Justice
make
hammers
sense, but you would
used
think
those
that would
as the
mean that
basis
you would
for
have
their
like a
design.
thing somewhere, like a nozzle.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Yep.
Hold on a moment.
And
I
we know
still
one
think it's
person
strange to
Hifumi
assume
listens
someone
to.
was working together with him.
Well, two. But Chihiro would
The
do
way
that.
the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
Bullet time!
Spotless hammer.
This gives me, we're going to have to memorize something first,
Okay.
probably.
That's what we got.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even
Can I
if
shoot
more
her?
than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work
Okay,
together.
impossible's one have to hit.
Probably.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Okay, so grab the last one.
It might be grabbing the last one and shooting impossible.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is
Yeah,
complicit in the murder,
no, because
only the
someone
one who
he
actually
didn't kill himself.
carried out the act
Correct.
can graduate and survive.
So we
Assuming
grab
the
the
rule
last one.
holds true,
Yes,
it
and
is
then we
simply
shoot
impossible that two
Yes.
people work together on this.
That is how the
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right?
But
In
you-
this case, however, there were
There we go.
two murders.
Impossible's the third one.
I think impossible.
Based on the rules that have, even if more than one person is complicit in the, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate
Make
and
sure you don't
survive.
accidentally have
Assuming
to...
the rule holds true.
There you go.
No,
Go team. High five.
Yeah.
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka.
Ah.
They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So Celeste.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone,
Celeste was
creating two
scot-free until the
separate
last.
incidents.
Yeah.
And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
Right, Celeste?
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
She is very amazing.
Yes.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
Who is the one always pulling
Problem
Hifumi's
numero
strings?
uno right now.
someone.
I believe we can go this way to go to get to Celeste. Celeste.
Here's my answer.
It's
It was
Celeste.
Celeste.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit-brained, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot!
Where did your accent go?
Pardonnez-moi.
Oh, what a word accent
There
was.
is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
She gives it up.
It is.
Her accent up there.
Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
Encountering the suspicious individual. They're the only ones that ever saw it.
The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Okay.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual.
She's like, oh, they're getting to me.
If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
Yep.
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said? We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she
that
claimed
makes
to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Ran towards the physics lab.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Alright.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we are on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead, Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kind of sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Oh.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing. I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
Because
You
you're
hear
dumb.
that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Okay.
This might be a copy paste one again.
Let's see what we have going on.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
So you think you have to copy that? Because it would be copy so strange, and then it would hit like those guys. Because she only knows of one death at this point.
All I said was,
She's only supposed to know of one
they
death.
must really be enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are going to die. And that is all.
And that's all it takes to finish. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
I think it's.
Okay. I mean, I have 5 hearts, so I can take
I'm
that.
pretty
They
sure
must really
that's.
enjoying the sight of us standing around. They must be positively elate. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like.
There you go.
Yay! I did a thing! Sometimes I have those magical particles.
Yeah, you can
That's
help really
right.
one of the trials.
There's no reason Celeste
No,
should
I'm
have
gonna be
said,
honest, I don't
just
remember
like those
No,
guys
it
died.
all
doesn't
of the
matter.
things
It's-
necessarily.
When
But
she
also
said
we're
that,
supposed to,
none
that's
of us
kind
had
the
told her
point. We're
Taka
both
was
supposed to be
dead.
kind of helping each other. That's kind of the idea of playing a game together.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Don't just give it up.
Imaginations.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
If Hifumi is working with
It
you,
has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on. And then...
Have you so quickly forgotten?
Oh,
You
it's the
are
chemicals
the only
make
one
fall
who
asleep,
could have
swim in the suit.
possibly
Yes.
fitted. Plus, I happen to know. In other words, it is an unassembly. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one
Hifumi
you've offered
dragging
up.
Hiro away from
No.
the rec room.
There is no other explanation.
It doesn't show. Well, pictures can't really show dragging. It shows that he was.
No, it's he's struggling. He's trying to hold him up. That's what I'm hinting at, though. That's what I'm saying. It could be.
Ah.
I got it!
See?
It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Let's hear this.
Pretty much.
Let's see what we need. Alright. I think we're going with Master Chair.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright.
It could be the blueprints too, because
If
he
the
can't stand
person
up.
inside the suit
Because he can't
was
bend at the waist.
unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
Okay, what do we got?
It might be the blueprint because the blueprint would show that it can't stand up straight. Or that it can't bend over, I mean.
You dressed me up in that suit after I
Or
passed
we might have to
out.
copy something.
Then
It's
you
either
just
the
draped me
blueprint
across
or
Hifumi and had him
the
carry my
costume.
weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, as you can see in the picture, that if the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up.
No, that's wrong.
I was on the correct track. I
You-
just had the wrong bullet.
You figure.
I figured out half
No.
and you figured out the other half.
Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
Couldn't bend at the waist.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Uh-huh.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate.
Checkmate?
I think that's the end of the trial. Is he about to break?
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
There she goes.
Celeste?
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not?
He can't even get the voice back
Said,
in.
and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
He can't do the voice anymore.
But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
Your confusing
Sure.
statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Remember when you said that
Think
things
back
would
to
come
how
back?
Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
He used everyone's last names.
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name.
Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now, isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on.
We don't know
There's
Celeste's
one
last name.
person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say?
And this is where that handbook thing
You
comes
take
in.
your false accusation so far. I don't know.
Oh, her real
whether
name's
to
in the
laugh
handbook, isn't
or
it?
Spit.
Obviously.
Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather. Yasuhiro is a loser's name. Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I?
Yes.
I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in.
What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Shows your handbook. Is it Bullet Battle?
E-handbook.
Yep. Okay, we're gonna go. I'm gonna get to the handbook.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something.
Okay.
He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is Celestia Ludenberg. God damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth.
I love it.
And since you have no way to contradict me,
I saw the damn thing. Okay.
Yes.
That's it! The handbook!
what?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right?
So it says Celeste.
Monokuma told us all about it before. So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
That
Celeste,
just makes you more
can you please
suspicious.
just tell us what really happened?
Or do I
Please.
have
Just
to put it
tell us.
together?
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because.
Do I not have to?
Until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Do I have to do the comic book?
Fine then.
Yes.
Let me settle it.
Comic book time?
Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
Will it?
Okay, I have 19 minutes. Oh.
Making a deal with him. That would be probably that one because you're shaking hands with him.
Okay. So, 1 o'clock.
The baseball one's back. Him walking in and being confused. Putting him in the suit.
Camera. Watch.
Hammer smash?
No, that's the last one.
No, it could be. Would be one of the other Justice Hammers?
No, we'll move back to here.
We'll get the ones that we know are out of the way.
Justice Hammer 2.
Yeah. So that it looks like he got whacked.
Hammer 2. Spin.
Blood everywhere. Oh, would this be the other hammer? Because he has to put blood on the other hammer.
I love how that's always the
Culprit?
yeah.
Well, yeah, because that is supposed to represent someone that we don't know for sure.
Okay, and this one is him pushing.
Yes.
Okay.
So now we got to figure out that last one. That one.
I have one to go.
Yes. That one that's back there.
Okay. Ball or a backpack?
Well, we know it's not a ball, because the ball is from the one trial where he had to throw the ball.
Oh, the note. That's a note.
Yeah, putting the note away. That makes sense.
The killer
okay.
is you! Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was...
I think we got it correct.
I think so.
Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes.
Yep.
Yep. Good.
First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro.
We're the best.
When they were done with
Go
him,
team.
they
Go
shoved
team.
him, still
Go team.
unconscious,
Go team.
into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder.
Nope.
Nope.
Ah.
So what is that one? We have to check the rest of them. No, the rest of these. Do we have more of these?
So ball and 4. Sorry. There's 4 right there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Here's exactly what happened. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder.
Right there.
Yeah.
The
I
murder
forgot to put
weapon
4
was
in.
Justice Hammer 4,
Silly
which was left there in the
boy.
equipment room.
You forgot there was more things on the
The
thing
reason
than
Hammer
he
number
had.
4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room.
Obviously.
There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these two incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds. That the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office.
I do just
and
like
Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation.
At the end of every
He simply
trial.
got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office.
But then he's better at this than Ifumi.
And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was
Ifumi,
waiting
what's
for.
he's the ultimate of?
This time, he snuck into the
Well, he
equipment
was
room.
the ultimate fanfic writer. It just happens that he also draws comics with it sometimes.
He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository.
Why did they make me do this?
That explains how
Thank
each
you,
of the
syndrome?
bodies
Yes.
disappeared.
Presumably, yes.
But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Celeste.
Celestia Ludenberg.
Celeste! Sorry, you
lose.
Complete.
I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg.
Oh, come on, real name, real name.
Actually, no, Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Diego?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
How many coins did I get?
All the coins! Give me coins.
Coins.
Give me coins.
Coins.
Give me
Coins.
coins.
98!
Hell yeah!
I would have got the perfect 100 if I didn't do the mess up.
Yeah, well. You got 2 B's, so... you
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no.
What's a mistrial?
I suppose this is
I
the
finally
end,
did it without failing.
isn't it?
Yay!
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay? Okay.
Her voice is
if
very
you
different.
would, please locate your lever and cast your vote.
I vote
And
Celeste.
when the votes
Obviously.
are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the, dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Ding, 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 ding.
Celeste.
Obviously. Yeah, you guys are the queens. Once again, you're totally... It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The blackened this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was... Celestia Ludenberg, or precisely, Teiko Yosuhiro.
Honestly.
Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder.
I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying.
My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then...
Then did you use, you know... I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice.
Alter ego.
I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but... It was the only thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into.
So alter ego.
Say what?
What are you talking about?
Just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop as usual. How sad.
No. Is Monokuro speaking, or is this the, does he actually speak, or does the, mastermind speak for him?
Yes.
So it could be either.
Yes.
Okay.
How sad.
In other words...
Then you're the one that stole it?
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again. Last night, after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I played Hifumi a little visit.
What are you doing?
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you, alone. It was about what was stolen. I know who did it.
What?
are you okay with this?
It was Taka. He stole it.
What?
So then...
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I'd shown it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
Grr, it was him!
What is that? Why is that here? Do I want to know why that is here? I don't know that I want to know why that is here.
It's the pretty putty princess costume.
Yeah, but why?
Apparently, he likes to be a pretty putty princess.
That's fair.
Sorry. I had to do it in the voice.
Obviously.
But how do you do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her.
You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
What?
As for me...
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh.
He did?
As for me...
He came to my room last night unannounced, and then... It's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
What?
And he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
It was her specialty.
Lying!
Damnation!
That's a crime! An absolute crime! I know he's gone a bit crazy, but...
Say what?
I never imagined he would go that far!
It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't even express how enjoyable that was.
I'm about to say something I said I'll never before in my life.
Completely unforgivable.
I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Most unfortunate.
Wait, please. If you go now, you will be playing right into his hands.
Huh?
Actually,
Taka is planning to use her to escape. And he has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean.
Taka is going to try to kill you.
indeed.
And also, he can keep her to himself.
That bastard!
This is unforgivable. Completely unforgivable.
Bastard, 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 bastard!
Honestly,
Can we allow him continue with those barbaric acts?
Absolutely not. How could I? She.
I swear!
I have to save her!
actually,
Then, would you like to join me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan.
Huh?
I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. But with that, it was complete.
Hey, what are you talking about?
Oh, nothing. Hifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even a love as twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem.
You disgust me.
That was just bread.
It's a birthday.
Whew.
You disgust me.
I didn't do it!
Anyway, I have another question for you. Was that strange costume a Fumi's creation?
indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt, too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that, but it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But
So, why did you decide to make me the suspect?
Because you're stupid.
That's it?
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though.
I feel like I could cry.
Well,
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead?
That is, what she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that? Assuming you actually let him live.
Are you okay with this?
That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead once someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded, he was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. And he really believed that? Well, of course. That wasn't all there was. That wasn't all there was to it. As I explained to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi, so nobody would doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it.
It seems very straightforward. Stereotypical.
I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi hated up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
so in the end,
So you had planned to kill him all along? But of course. There would have been no point in my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can human life mean so little to you?
Well,
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
don't be mean.
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder about that.
No, he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? It is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been escape.
But
For a long been saying we had to accept living here.
You little bitch!
Obviously, that was a lie.
I am playing Palworld.
Apparently so. He's definitely playing Palworld right now.
Huh?
I just realized they have no idea what we're talking about because the camera's blocking the notification. Oh well.
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here.
You little
I wanted
bitch.
to get out. Every day was fresh torture. And do you want to know why? Huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would have been nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me,
And it was all for that dream.
Now, what was that dream of yours?
isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle.
A castle.
And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butler/bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need.
You couldn't dress Bianca up as one.
I would be okay with this. Anyway,
Yakua.
Byakuya.
Biakua.
Byakuya.
Not Biaku. Biakua.
Byakuya.
Biakua.
Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That is what life is all about. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but
There is nothing to be done.
unfortunately, my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream to the very end, so why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it?
Oh,
Are you asking me to feel guilty? It's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying. And plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared?
She's fine.
Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people. I can even fool my own emotions. The consciousness deceives the unconscious.
And that's why you're not scared?
Yes,
That's
indeed.
right. I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I have a choice, then
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
And have your head cut off.
Hey,
You'll just get executed again. She smiled then. When she did, it took me a force.
Chills! Chills!
Are you all done? Okay, then let's get rolling. The blackened disturb the peace, and they must pay the price.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For her, the ultimate gambler.
Let's give it everything we've got.
It's punishment time!
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this. What? Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then... Take care, everyone.
Monokuma.
Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
Guilty. Let's see what she has prepared. So a castle. Is she about to be executed? Oh, she's a witch. So this is the one you have the most memory of?
I think it might have been the thing that came before it. But also, yeah, no, that this and also the cage of death, because of the whole me having actually seen people doing the wall of life thing or the wall of death thing.
The flame. I love the fake out.
Yeah.
The flames aren't what killed her.
It was
Fire
the fire truck.
truck.
The fire truck killed her.
You're terrible at your job, Akuma.
Is he?
It was a really good punishment.
I mean, yeah. But also, I think because that one is the most, like, one that makes the least amount of sense for things. Like, it doesn't go with her ability, it goes along with her dream, I guess, was the
Yes,
point.
It goes along with her dream.
Yes. It's over.
I mean, her ability's not really gambling, it's just lying.
Yeah, that's true.
Which, I would call it the ultimate liar.
Yeah, probably.
Stuff is over. She killed my friends, so I can't pity her, but I did consider her a friend. It's two. At the very beginning.
At
the very beginning.
Before she opened her mouth.
After the teething, no, she was destined to be dead.
Yeah. Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of the regrets from the outside world and more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives.
Really?
What are you gonna do?
Jeez. Here, I thought you were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What do you care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you just let me go out of here.
Too bad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one.
Once again, we've kind of out of our lives. You don't. And that is why we're murdering each other, because of you. Although, this time it wasn't your fault. Exactly. Kind of. The money was a bit apart, but no, she just really wanted to escape. So it was less you this time. And more helpy. Helping. Just...
It's sad, yes it is. But that really just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible.
Don't talk like you're not responsible.
Don't talk like you're not responsible.
How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us?
God, I'm sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key-type object from Celos?
Hey!
So, what's the deal with that? What's the deal with that?
What?
Huh? What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
What?
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh, how
Oh man!
exciting.
Oh jeez! Oh man! Oh jeez! What do you mean? What did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it.
What was that just now? Mastermind did something to Goth's body? What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kind of awkward. I think it's time we get out of here.
I agree.
Well,
Meanwhile, you guys can go on enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
see ya later.
See ya.
Disappeared? Wasn't all despair. At least there was one little hope. Hey, oh, we mentioned it, but what's that key that Celeste gave you?
So,
Most likely. It's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Well,
What? Then that means...
Celeste probably hid it there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we'd better go check.
indeed.
Good idea.
Rush to the dressing room.
Hey,
I'm going to go on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check with you later.
What?
Why exactly are you going alone?
so,
Do you even have to ask?
She glanced at the security camera.
Come on.
It's not what I mean.
That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still a risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too.
What?
You? Please let me go. Standing here arguing is going to draw more attention to us.
Goodbye.
Do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya.
Yeah.
well then.
And then it's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm going to dine home, okay?
Huh? So Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together? Does that mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone.
We're not dating.
Yes.
Yeah, not yet. There's a whole bunch more things we can do, like get out of here.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
shall we go?
Well, shall we?
Yeah.
So then,
We need to get into that locker.
Yeah, we're there.
Obviously.
We saw.
You really came.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe. Thank goodness. I did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time.
So,
Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow. Doing my best, so please wait just a little while longer. So we can officially say the case is closed.
As far as this incident is concerned, yes. Can we talk for a second? There's this opportunity. I want you to be honest with me. Yeah, please tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own here in the school?
Is that why you wanted to come here with me?
however,
Regardless, it's not something you need to know right now.
I don't need to know. That just makes me even more worried.
what?
Worried?
Like what happened during the investigation this time. You disappeared, and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you do that,
Indeed.
It's only natural that you think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too.
no. I believe in you.
What?
You believe in me?
Is it obvious? People believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends.
I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more.
Then,
That's fine.
Fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see,
what I heard from then was, frankly, it was kind of blew my mind. Right after I told her, she told me a story that was almost unbelievable. Is it about the lost year? I did.
Correct.
the boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it. And in the storage closet there, way in the back.
Wait. Okay.
Are you going to call it a time?
No, we have to.
We have to finish all the mysteries.
We have to get to the end of chapter 3.
It's fair. Boys' bathroom.
We have the time, and it's 2 hours.
There's no surveillance camera, so that's true at least. At the very back.
Oh, that does look like there's a
It does look like there's a second thing. Oh. The hell?
Did I...
Correct.
In the boys' bathroom on the second floor, way in the back of the closet, there's a secret room.
One thing that's not covered in dust. You must not leave. Understand as I can't leave, but you must not leave. Fill the day with you. These words, you must not leave. Seen them somewhere before, but can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? Oh, hi there! I was wondering where you were, Mastermind.
Darkness!
It's all over, and with that opened my eyes. I don't know how long, Ben. They moved all the books.
Yes. Kyoko's gonna be real mad that you got found and all of her things that she was studying are gone.
For now, that's room. So I don't think this was a coincidence.
That's fair.
I feel set up.
That's also fair.
Okay, let's see what's in the gym. What's in the gym? It is Sakura beating up. Wait. What?
I couldn't stop from staring.
You're leaving.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
Sakura's the spy. Oh geez, Sakura's the spy.
Apparently.
Did you know this? You knew this. Shut up. Shut up. The deal.
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay, but you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
What am I hearing? A hostage? Indeed, the mastermind spy is Sakura. See, and that's the end of the chapter.
The next generation tall, stand tall galactic hero. And then there were 7.
To be continued.
And then there were 7.
Super
You got
Robot.
the Robo Justice present.
Yep.
That's what you wanted, right? Robo Justice? You wanted Robo Justice, right?
And that's where we're at.
I mean, it's not giving you a chance to save yet.
I just saved.
Yay! I'm eepy.
That's where we're ending for the night.
I have a bear in my hand.
You do. So, things were found out.
Sakura is doing things?
She was the mole all along. How could she?
But now she's trying to stop doing the thing where she's a mole!
But if it gets out, she's screwed.
Correct? Good thing Makoto is fairly decent at not telling everyone everything.
In fact, this might actually might be a problem in the next chapter.
Yeah.
Makoto values people's lives.
This is true.
I don't think he's gonna tell anybody.
This is also true.
Which means he could be in danger.
This is also true.
If Mastermind,
Danger!
if the Mastermind or Monokuma noticed that he was near the gym.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, thank you for joining us.
We go away, meow. We
This
come
is-
back later.
This is a special presentation of Celeste. You're an idiot.
You thought you could get away with things? You were wrong.
You couldn't come against the combined power of the 4 of us. Me, her, the prince, and the detective.
Yes. And Makoto. Does Makoto count or is Makoto you?
I count. I'm the actual brains of Makoto.
That's fair.
He's an idiot without me.
I think he's still an idiot with you.
How dare! Join us next time.
Bye!
Bye.